Okay. The class today we talk a little about the Reto, okay, and we discuss about the Reto, about the corporation. I will provide some feedbacks about my feeling and the other professors relating to the corporation, and we discuss the next step, the step three. So the first thing that I would like to say is about the step one, the step two. Okay, I provided some feedbacks in the step one, the step two in this lab. I sent all the time. I sent in the beginning. I wrote general comments. Okay, and after group by group, I provide the feedback. About the step one first, two things. In this step one, I expect that you create the GitHub, wrote the motivation and the other step, and write the user store and the acceptance criteria. I spend, it's a general comment, okay, that I talk with the other professors. I expected, okay, before, I spent a long time to write, to write the documentation that I provided with you. Okay. I believe I spent around 20 to 1 month preparing that document. In that document, I thought, okay, I will provide all the information that the student needs to finalize the web. Okay. And what happened? In the first activity, step one, I identify not this, what I say now is not for the specific group, okay? It's not I'm not talking about one guy here, okay? I'm talking in general. Some groups do not read the document, okay? And start to write the requirements, I don't know, using which information. Another groups, I really didn't understand what happened because a lot of groups don't use store, the other groups does not read nothing and create requirements using I don't know what. But again, I revised the activity and use the same reference to explain what I expected again. Okay. I really understand that you have a lot of other class, but I would like that you understand that I try to provide the best material. For example, about the activity MKTT, the first activity is about the mosquito. I understand. I explain the class. I expect that you can. I prepare a material that you can read the next finish that you need to follow, and I identify a lot of groups that have problem, and I record 3 videos. One video, situation 1, using the cloud. The second video, situation 2, using the VMware. The last video, using Windows. I didn't produce a video with Mac because I don't have Mac. Okay? And a lot of groups continue to have the same context. It's not that I didn't understand. You didn't see nothing. It's crazy. It's the same, for example, during this exercise we spend at least 3 weeks to finalize it. And all the times, the question is the same. I don't know how to use Linux. I don't know how to use a shell, not really, because you can use in the Windows. I understand that you don't have a lot of experience, but I think I need to train you to looking for information. For example, the JavaScript client. I know that you never see JavaScript, but you have experience with Python, I think C++ or C, and I think some groups has experience in Java. And my first idea is to use Android Studio and programming Java. But the other professor said, no, it's very hard. I'm using JavaScript because it's it. Okay, I moved to JavaScript. I don't know JavaScript a lot, but I moved to JavaScript. And I thought, okay, what is the worst part? It is to design the GUI and to define the methods, no? And I create a schedule that you have these things. And there are some groups that, okay, I didn't understand JavaScript, but I use Java and created Java. Another group spend more time, but solve the problem. But again, you need to do this last part. I can explain, but if I explain, it's better to send you the code, the final code. Okay? My understanding is you didn't spend time to looking for the information in the internet, because if you're looking for the internet, you see an example very, very similar. Because I used this example to create the example that you use. Okay, I use the same example. The only difference is because I create a GUI and use the GUI. But I have exactly the same example. You can find on the internet the complete code. And my understanding, you didn't spend time to looking for. Guys, soon you'll become an engineer in a company. And I have bad news in the company. When you become an engineer, you receive a task and need to solve, but you have the use the background that you received the course. And again, guys, about the JavaScript part, because it's very, very, but you have the same problem in the Mosquito part. Okay, about the JavaScript part, you don't need to know JavaScript. You need to know program in any language. Okay, and read one language and try to translate because you have the same code in the Python. Okay, you need to translate one language to other, and you have examples that is doing the same, exactly the same. Okay, but again, you have this problem in Mosquito, you have this problem in Java, some groups have this problem in Python, and you need to okay, I'm supporting. I had a lot of meetings, okay, to advise, but again, I cannot, for example, provide the answer all the time. You need to spend some time and give answer questions like, okay, I tried this approach, I follow it, the code is exactly, it's not a word. Yeah. It's the thing that I would like to talk, but not provide the complete answer. Again, to provide the complete answer, I prefer to send the code because it's the same. Okay, so it's the general comments about the step 1, step 2. About the corporation, okay, It's another thing that I discussed with some professors, the professor in Brazil, the professors here in Mexico. And it's a very, very complicated situation. And we have groups then that work very well. We have groups that Brazilian does not work very well. And there are groups that the Mexican does not work very well. Okay. For example, I receive a lot of people in Mexico, the tech, that told me, oh, the Brazilian is not working, it's blah, 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 something like that. And I received the same comments from Brazil. And in both cases, I asked him, okay, I will talk with the professor Brazilian when the problem is the Brazilian. And when I talk with the tech, the professor Brazil told me some problem like that. I said, okay, I will talk the tech group. Okay. And in a particular moment, I thought, okay, I will finish the population. However, this problem is very common today. For example, in my I believe 3 years or 4 years ago, I worked in a project in the West. The group has China, Indians, I cannot remember the place, but one guy from Europe, Canadians, and we have two big problems. The first one is the time difference, because in the Europe is, I don't know, 3 p.m. In the United States is 8 a.m. Oh, on Australian, that is 12 hours ahead. The first is the problem is the time. That is very difficult to work. The second problem that I have is the future and the perspective in the project. Okay. The China works different than the Brazilian, than Mexico's, than the West. Yeah, it's completely different. And we need to adjust, we need to adapt into the situation. And the problem that is passing now is the problem that you have in any big project. And today, I don't know, maybe part of you already work in this type of project with people from different countries. But after the COVID, the national regulation changed, and it's very common to have, for example, people from different countries with different capacities to form a group in, for example, national and Brazil. Okay? For example, I have a project here that my aeronautical engineer is Australian. Okay? And we need to adjust the time. Some days you work at night, some days they work at night, and I work in my business time. And it's a part. And we discussed with professor, Brazilian professor, particularly about it. No, it's the Mexican professor. And he said, no, the cooperation is valid because this problem is problem that happened in the real world. And this is valid. And we decide to keep the cooperation. And what we discuss is, if you decline the case cooperation now, what happens is the tech students you was penalized, will be penalized, and we define no, experiment. And what I did, okay, I and the professor define minimal implementation. Why this minimal implementation? To be possible, for example, that you in Mexico can do, if you have problem with Brazilians, you can develop all the things alone and don't, because it's an important thing. During the workshop, that we'll talk about the workshop soon. During that workshop, you present the project. However, there are times that the professors can make questions, for example, to Ricardo, and Ricardo needs to answer. During the workshop, all groups of the students need to talk, not all the students, because the groups is very big. But, for example, group of 10, 4 or 5 students need to talk. And after the presentation, for example, I can ask the people that did not talk, did not present, to some part question about the project. Okay, it's an important thing. It's really important because if you, for example, you not engage and you only stay in the group and see the other people working, I have a bad news because you can the evaluation is individual. Not the group. You evaluate the project with the group, but will you evaluate individual each student group. Okay, and the minimal implementation protect in general way protect the Mexico because uh, if you the Brazilian does not finalize the midnet, you can do everything without midnet. And the things that you need to do, you already did in the class. Okay, so and it's the feedback about what happens until now. Okay, so the dynamic today, you show the I will present the step 3. Next, I will talk about the workshop, very short. I will talk very. It's not big because my plan is to talk with you on Monday about the workshop. Okay, and next I create the breakout rooms, and I will enter the breakout room, and I visit each breakout room. Okay, to clarify questions, to discuss points of the implementation, so on and on. About step 1, step 2. Oh, I would like to revise what I teach. Okay, you can. If you finalize it, okay, before Monday, I will revise your grade. If you finalize it after Monday, you keep the grade, but you need to revise to present the workshop. Okay, so no, I believe it's so. Okay, guys. General questions, okay? Specific questions about your group. We'll discuss it in this breakout, okay? The general question. Do you have any questions before I start to show this step 3? No? Okay. This step 3. Did you see my screen?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. First, the step 1, you need to create the GitHub project. You need to define the test and the user store and the acceptance criteria. And it's out. The step 2, you need to create, you need to configure the midnet. However, I didn't penalize if you didn't not. Okay. You need to create to finalize the Android client, and you need to demonstrate the Android client connecting in the mosquito. Okay, you need to show this thing. Okay, this thing running. You need to show you click in the smartphone and appear the message in the mosquito. Okay, and record a video and publish the video and publish the mosquito files and the your implementation of the client in the GitHub. It's what I expect in the step 2. In step 3, you continue this to develop. It's the final development. Okay, it's the last sprint. And the idea during this step 3 is you fix it all the comments, or you update the project and incorporate all the comments that I provide before, okay, that I share in the GitHub. And the step 3 represent the minimal implementation. Oh, I use Mininet. Okay, you use this idea to incorporate the Mininet. But if you don't use Mininet, okay, The Brazilian does cannot support you, or the Brazilian have a problem, do not solve the net part, okay? Each is the minimal implementation, okay? What is the minimal implementation? First, you have a real Android client, okay? Two, you have a grid broker mosquito running in the VMware or in the virtual board, or running in PC, in Windows, for example, okay? These two parts is part of step two, okay? The step three is the development of this box here, okay? In this box, I expect that you run in Azure, okay? How to create it? You have a class when you, I believe it's the MQTT tutorial, basic tutorial. You have a tutorial in class that you already did, okay? You run the mosquito with a central broker, okay? And you need to do two things. The first thing, okay, you have the mosquito. This part here, a lot of groups incorporate in the step two, okay? The new part is you need to get the message from mosquito and print in the Grafana or in the Freeborn. The Grafana part, the professor was there showed me a video that you already implement this part in the class. Okay, with that. Okay, what you need to do first, create a SQL database. Oh, I use Postgres. Okay, I use MySQL. Okay, I use other bank. Okay, you define the bank. Okay, my suggestion you use the same bank, the same database that, for example, use in the class of Lee Roselle. Okay, Roselle is so. Okay, this is the first thing. We need to get the mosquito message, okay, the published message. In a few seconds I will show better. And transform it in a table and store and create this database in the table. Design this. The only part that you didn't do before is this guy here. What's this guy? This guy is a Python script that it's a subscription script. Remember the subscription that you use in our class? I open here, give me a second. Okay, it's the subscription, and you get the subject line and save. Okay, it's a script in Python that you get all the message. You subscribe the top that this guy published, and get this subscription and transform this line in a record to store in a MySQL database. Okay, is the thing that you need to do. Okay. Again, step two. I expect that you already finalize it. The mosquito in Azure. You have an exercise that I show how to do it. Okay, you already work in the class. SQL database, how to work in the SQL, and how to create tables, how to design tables. You work in this thing with the Roselle. Grafana part, you already worked with the Roselle. And the last part is the subscription. What you need to do that I believe is the real work is to organize these things to work together. Okay. Okay, Android part. The first step is the Android app. Okay, you already did this part, and you need to do is every 10 seconds you publish a message to the top name rescue and rescue severity. Okay, using the broken one. Okay, you publish and the message in this top rescue severity. in sent to the broker one. Okay, located at the IP2 and port 188. This method follows these standards partner, IOT, separate position. Okay, something like that. Node one, low, medium, high, and the position. Just remember that you don't need to get the real position of the node. You can send a static message or the static position. Okay, and send this information for this guy. Okay. If you need more information, you have this link here. The second one is the brick broke server. Okay. Again, this brick broke server, the only thing that you need to remember is the brick broker need to run the protocol WebSocket. Okay. Because the JavaScript use only WebSocket. A lot of groups, sorry, the implementation of the JavaScript or the client does not work because two things. One, you need to publish, not to subscribe to the top. Okay, this is the first thing. The second thing is you don't use the mosquito is not configured to use WebSocket. Okay. To configure the mosquito like WebSocket, you have it here. Okay. It's very easy, okay? The only difference in the implementation that you have to the new is this line here, okay? To Mosquito works like a WebSocket, you need to add this line. It's the only thing that you need to do. So, okay. And in the last class, you work in a lot of different scenarios, more complicated scenarios. Okay? A very more complicated scenario. The implementation is easier than the implementations that I asked you to do here. Okay? So the central broker is the central broker is very easy. Okay. The only things that you need to do new is this one here, this service try MySQL. Yeah. To explain this guy, I show the Python tool that you use in the subscription that we used in the last class. If you remember, when you subscribe a topic, you call this method here. What you have? When you call this line, you create a thread, and this thread waiting for answer from the broker. Okay. When you receive a message from the broker, you enter in this method here. Okay, you go to here. In the implementation that you have, you print this message here. Okay. However, what you need to do, you need to not to print. You can print, but you need to make a query command, insert a line in a MySQL database. Okay, you need to insert a new line here that you add a new history in the SQL database. Okay. How to do these things? Follow the directions. You have this code that I showed, you have it here. And you have this code here, okay? MySQL 2. In this MySQL 2, I create a Python tool that you can connect MySQL, disconnect MySQL, create a table using MySQL. Sorry, I use here MySQL, okay, but you can change to Postgres, okay? create a database, create a table, okay, and set a value, okay. I believe it's the line that you need to insert. You need to call this method, okay. You need to pass the connections and the SQL string. The SQL string you need to create, okay? You need to create. Select, oh, sorry, set into blah, 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 blah. For example, in this example here, okay? It's the example that I want to show that the code is well. Okay? I create this table laptop. And here is set in laptop this value. Okay? You need to first create the database. 2, design the table, and 3, define the exact method. However, everything is done. You only need to configure your machine to connect the database, install the database. Here, here in the beginning, you have some information to install MySQL connector, run pip install, blah, blah, blah. You have a tutorial here. If you have problems, you can do this tutorial. Okay. But you have all the information. You need to adjust these codes that I provide sorry, to your reality. So I believe it's the new part is this guy here. Okay. Again, how to create the table? I asked to talk with Jose. Okay, because he is the database professor. Okay, how to? I need to create 2 tables, 1 table, 3 tables. Talk with him. Okay, he can support better. Okay. And the last part is Grafana, you already work. Okay. Just remember that in the here in the dashboard information, okay, you need to create at least four dashboards. Okay. Oh, how to? Where is the information? It's here. It's already. It's not new. It is in the GitHub site. Okay. Any questions about this activity? When you need to submit until, okay, you need to submit until Monday. Oh, but I didn't finalize until Monday. Okay, you have until the workshop to finalize and set everything. But I expect that you finalize first implementation, record a video. Okay, again, record a video, save the video in the GitHub, and until until Monday. Okay. Any questions about this activity? No questions? Okay. Thank you, Amy. So the last information, and I will give a short break to create the breakout room, and when you back to this break, the last information, we have the workshop. Okay, the information about the workshop, it's already defined here, no? In the level, you have the information about the final presentation. Okay, it's the thing that you need to present in the final presentation. Okay? This workshop will happen on not this Friday, in the next Friday. Okay, it's complete online. Okay, you don't need to go to the tech to present the workshop. If you want, you can, but you don't need, because you have people from Brazil in the same time. You have the first part is what is the problem, the technical solution, how to configure the solution, and the demo system. You don't need to run the demo in real time, okay, during the presentation. You can, but you don't need. You can record a video, okay? I believe it's the best approach, because if you record the video, you don't have the problem to frozen something, the connection does not work. A lot of problems that happens in the online presentation. But you record a video, but you don't talk during this video. You only record, okay? Because you explain the video during the session, okay? You cannot prepare a video, explain the things. No. You record a video, and in the class, you explain the video. One guy, two guys, three guys, I don't know, okay? It's important to record. You think about you, what you talk, and record the video, okay? I will prepare. We have class with you on Monday. On Monday, we explain in detail this step. Okay, guys, you don't need to think now. The focus now is to finalize the step 3. But on Monday, I will explain in detail this step. Okay, and my idea is to send, like I did this material here, I will do one material, one material about the final presentation, and maybe I will send this material on Monday, okay? Oh, I need to stay doing the outdoor workshop? No, you only need to, the workshop happens in the breakout rooms, okay? You need to stay, for example, if you present, for example, 9 to 10, you need to arrive to go to your breakout room, I don't know, 9 to 10, 8:30, prepare everything, and 9 p.m. I and the other professor or the other professor enter the breakout room to watch your presentation and stay there during the presentation. Did you understand? Oh, when I finalize my presentation, when I finalize your time, you leave and you are free. You are free. You don't need to. If you want, you can watch the other groups. But if you don't want, you can leave. Okay. Any questions? No questions?
No, teacher.
Okay, guys. I give you. We return in 0, 0. Okay, I will create a breakout rooms and return in 0, 0. Okay. See you soon, guys.